You're listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. Each week, your host, Polly Requa, interviews veterinarians and individuals in the pet industry from across the nation answering pet questions. Bark and Wag podcast is produced weekly for your enjoyment, and show notes can be found at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. That's BARKNWAG.com. Please remember to subscribe to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. Bark and Wag is dedicated to protecting our dogs through advocacy, education, and supporting like-minded dog lovers by selling custom pet products. Bark and Wag is excited to announce our new partnership with a Colorado hemp farm to produce a line of CBD products for your pets. Bark and Wag has CBD pet tincture available in 300, 750, 1200, and 2400 milligrams. Bark and Wag CBD is pet safe, no THC, it's made in the USA, and is CO2 extracted. Please check out Bark and Wag's website, barkandwag.com. That is BARK, to see our line of CBD and awesome merchandise. We love pooch ideas for podcasts and merchandise, so anytime send an email to Polly at barkandwag.com with your suggestions.
Welcome to Bark and Wag 15-Minute Vet Talk. I'm your host, Polly Requa. Today we're talking to Debra, owner of Fluff Trough. Fluff Trough is the last pet bowl you'll ever buy. The feeder has an open front design to help promote better posture, digestion, and more comfort. Welcome, Debra.
Thank you so much, Polly.
Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So first, tell us about Fluff Trough.
Yeah, so like you said, Fluff Trough is a brand new spin on an elevated feeder, and that was inspired by my pug Pork Chop. It's the only feeder that has an open front design, so when an animal eats, they don't have to bend their neck down and squish their face inside a bowl to eat. It also has a wider surface area, so you can spread the food out more. So instead of letting your pet take like big gulps of food from food piled inside a bowl, you can spread it out more. And it also has higher walls to help support animals' natural eating motion. So when they eat, they kind of use their whole face like a shovel to eat. And instead of food going out the back of a bowl, the higher walls actually helps get the food back in their mouths.
And how did you decide to start Fluff Trough?
So I basically, as my pug, Pork Chop, was getting older, I noticed he was just struggling to eat more. And he eventually got to the point where he just couldn't eat from a regular dog bowl. So I observed him eating, and I got the idea to make the Fluff Trough. So I started making prototypes on my 3D printer, and I eventually refined the design to what you see now. And when I, made this prototype for Pork Chop, I shared it with a few pug friends, and they were so excited about the design of the bowl. And they're like, I want that for my pug too. So then I took all the money that I had actually been saving to buy a house, and I used that money to invest to buy the tooling and the intellectual property to bring the Fluff Trough to market.
And so what type of designs do you offer?
Yeah, so when I started this, I just had the standard Fluff Trough, which comes with the base, the non-slip feet, and a standard FDA silicone insert. And now we have the binge blocker, which is a slow feeder insert. And that's actually a slow feeder that's designed for dogs with flat faces. All of these slow feeders on the market now are really deep. And when dogs that don't have a snout go to eat from those, they can actually injure themselves and cut their nose. And it's really frustrating to eat from those slow feeders. We also have the water hole, which is a stainless steel insert, and that can be used for both food and water. And we have a licky mat attachment that's going to be coming out this year, as well as other like specialized inserts like a messy eaters insert in the future.
Yeah, so we have a Fluff Trough for our pug. And what I really like is that the insert is soft and it's washable. So, for example, if our pug eats, we have two retrievers, and eats out of a normal bowl, it's almost like he scrapes his nose and his chin on the bottom of the bowl and we'll get little scabs. And with the Fluff Trough, we haven't had any issues.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, it's really interesting because we're one of the only feeders on the market where the standard is the FDA silicone. And the reason we use that is because silicone is a non-porous material, which means it does not harbor bacteria like plastic would if plastic was like cut or scratched. And the other great thing about the FDA silicone, it is dishwasher safe. And you can put it in the microwave. And the very interesting feedback I've heard is a lot of pet parents have shared with me that they don't want to use plastic, but they have a dog that is terrified of stainless steel because of either their reflection or the noise it makes, like when they're tagged with the stainless steel. And they have been searching for an option, and the FDA silicone is perfect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it only comes in one size and multiple colors, correct?
Well, we also now have a Fluff Trough XL size. So the standard size that you have, it's great for cats and small to medium breed dogs. And it's become so popular that we make a Fluff Trough XL size for larger dogs. And we now have Fluff Trough lift kits. And these are stackable 1-inch lifts that you can add as many as you need to the bottom of the Fluff Trough, so you can make it the perfect height for your pet.
Oh, interesting. So now where can listeners purchase a Fluff Trough?
Yeah, so the best place to purchase is our website, because that is where you can purchase all of the inserts, and you can also customize your Fluff Trough. So you can get your pet's name on it. You can get your pet's face on it. And we have all of the accessories like the binge blocker insert, the stainless steel insert, the lift kits on our website, and that's www.flufftrough.com.
Great. And anything else you want to let the listeners know about?
Since I wasn't, when I started this business, I really did it because I wanted to help pork chop. And I had no idea that this business was going to grow into a global business. So because this bowl is so unique, we've had people in over 55 countries order it. So it's really exciting. We have a lot of new international friends, and it's great to see, people in other countries use it. And it's just really exciting because, what I learned is, I didn't start this business to make money. I started it to solve a problem to help pork chop, and it's just grown into this wonderful thing. So I really appreciate all of the support, and we listen to all the feedback that people are asking for with new products, and we do a lot of testing because we want to make sure the products we release do benefit pets and their parents. And the two most common pieces of feedback that we hear on a daily basis is the Fluff Trough is the best purchase that someone has ever made for their pet, and it is a life-changing product. So we love, getting that type of feedback.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there really isn't pugs, and any flat-faced dog they just have to conform to what's currently on the shelf. So it is nice to see unique products come out for our little pug buddies.
Yes, and the funny thing is when someone buys like a Fluff Trough for their flat-faced dog, what happens is all the other pets in their household migrate to only wanting to use the Fluff Trough. So then they end up buying it for the cat, the large dog, the chicken. It's like,
yeah,
it just becomes what they prefer to use because it's universally more ergonomic and easier for all pets to eat from.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting. I'm sure it's just with all breeds, but our current pug is a super slow eater. Like he just kind of will take a few bites and then he'll leave, and then the retriever will come in and eat it all. And that's why she weighs 95 pounds. And then so your next invention has to be like a gate that goes around
I like that idea. I really like where you're going with that. That's really good.
for all the other dogs. But it is kind of interesting that you said that you've got, different products coming to the market for the pugs that eat super fast and inhale. So
yeah, it's really interesting because now that this product is out, we do get contacted by pet parents that love the product line, and they're like, my dog has this specific problem when they eat. Can you make something that will adapt the Fluff Trough for them? So once we kind of collect, okay, here's kind of the issues different pets are facing, then we can start to release different types of inserts or accessories to address those issues. So it's really great to hear feedback from people because it really drives our product map.
So I will take a picture of our pug eating out of a Fluff Trough, and then I will put all your information in the show notes.
Thank you so much. It was really great to meet you, and it was great to be on the show.
Yeah, so thanks for being on the podcast, and we look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll pass along our web address, www.barkandwag.com, to your friends and other pet owners. Have a pressing question for a veterinarian? Ask your question at barkandwag.com under the podcast tab. This has been a KFR production. Join us next time for another edition of Bark and Wag's 15-Minute Vet Talk.